Yeah, I'm going to do some news personalities for you. Good evening. This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting for perhaps the last time. Mild tremors were felt in New Jersey today, but fear subsided when onlookers realized it was only Governor Chris Christie jogging, and that's part of our world. Good evening, this is Waterfront. And finally, in an effort to combat Soviet alcoholism, the Russian drinking age has been raised to 9. And that's the way it is. Hello, I'm Harry Reasoner. In the movies, all the heroes smoke cigarettes. John Wayne, Humphrey Bogart, Edward R. Murrow. And it's not a good idea to think about what happened to those guys. Now the cigarette has replaced the black hat as the sure sign of the villain. I'm Harry Reasoner. Good evening for the CBS Evening News. I'm Charles On the Road Kuralt. They say that I'm not telegenic. In other words, I'm fat and I'm bald. This is David Brinkley. I had a show called This Week with David Brinkley. They replaced me. I left, and they should have called it This Week Without David Brinkley. This is George Stephanopoulos. Yeah, I'm the guy that replaced him. This is Charles Osgood, and it's time now for the Osgood File. Why am I on TV? They needed someone on Sunday morning who had a bow tie and sat on a stool and just talked about things. Charles Osgood. Okay. You live for the NBC Islands. I'm Tom Rugoff. Consider this. Name what's in the name, you say. Amy Winehouse and Bernie Madoff, like Madoff with the money. They should have told you something. Tom Brokaw for the NBC News. Good night. Good evening. I'm Brian Williams for the NBC Nightly News. I'm the guy that was in video games. I'm Lester Holt for the NBC Nightly News, and I replaced that guy. Good evening. I'm Wolf Blitzer here in the Situation Room. It's really cool having a name like mine and a beard. Oh, this is Martin Savage for CNN. You don't have to say anything important when you sound like me. I just sound like an authority. This is Hugh Downs, and I was on 2020. You know, Barbara. This is Geraldo Rivera. I have nothing important to say. I just love saying my name, Geraldo Rivera. I'm John Stossel. The IRS, they're pickpockets. I'm a libertarian. This is Dick Morris. I used to work for the Clintons. Now I make money telling stories about them. Okay, let me see. Good evening, I'm Bernard Shaw for CNN. This is Andy Roney for 60 Minutes. Have you ever noticed how answering machines don't have any answers? They don't even know what the questions are. I'm Andy Roney for 60 Minutes. This is Christine Amanpour for CNN. This is Greta Van Susteren for On the Record. I'm Nancy Grace for Taylor Swift Justice. Okay, this is Shepard Smith for the Fox News Network. Around the world in 80 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, this is William F. Buckley Jr. As it were, resolved and in due course. We were discussing the extinct dictionary dinosaur, the thesaurus. My friends, this is Pat Buchanan, and I believe that Canadian geese are actually feathered drones from Russia. We've got to watch out. Listen to Trump. Okay, let me see. This is Howard K. Smith. I narrated the first John F. Kennedy Nixon debate, the only one. Okay, alrighty, let me think. Think. Here's a couple more. This is Daniel Shore for NPR. For years, I was on Richard Nixon's enemy list. Richard Nixon didn't like me, and I didn't like him much either, so there was no love lost. All right, last but not least. Hello, I'm Bob Schieffer for the CBS Evening News. I replaced Katie Couric, and believe me, I'm no Katie Couric. Okay, I'll give you one. I'll give you one last one. Last but not least. Last but not least. This is Charlie Rose in New York. As all of you know, for years I've sat behind a huge table talking about subjects that put people to sleep. And don't forget Ted Koppel of Nightline. A large head, a neck, and a desk. I hope you enjoyed that.